Hi, my name is Master from ICSOA, and today we are doing a hypothetical scenario in which society resets. What if civilization resetted and there was no people in this? So we are going to be doing that. All credits to, I don't remember the name, but I will put it in the title. Probably AdizzPro. I don't know the name. I'll put it in the title, man, and the description. But let's go and start the video. So what I do think civilization will start wait. Yes. So what I do think civilization will start in Sri Lanka, because Sri Lanka is like a really tribe thing. These are their first tribes people. They are like 15 or something. But we want two nations to have people that. Okay. So we are then going to actually for now we should just to this black area. So civilization starts at this black area, and now since they are landlocked, they have like fully with like water. They send a few scouts to check out the Indian area and these Andaman and Nicobar Islands, or whatever they are. I can't see with this stupid quality. But when they actually see it, they first expand into the Indian coastline and move up with the coastline. And now let's put a few more people on this side of the map. As I was saying, a few people on this side of the map. These are the red people. They are also a civilization. They quickly expanded and made it into US and stuff. So now, at this time, at the moment, civilizations didn't last that long. Like they really just collapsed. But then the black civilization thing was just kept going and expanding. But some people in the mainland thought that that's just not how we live. And after this, fully tried to go into the Pakistani or China's area, they sent a few scouts there. Then the first revolt of the game happened and it was our beloved Siamese people who got the main Indian land and the Sri Lankan land. But the black people were of course not too happy with this, but since the mainland was really in Siam, they were able to push them forward and get even more land. But now the black people and the Siam people had a peace treaty, and if the Siam people got the entire coastline, which of course they did because the black people weren't as strong, this was how the world map was looking right now. But if we head on to the red area, the red area also started to expand in the coastal areas. They sent a few scouts to Canada and Mexico. At this point, the red people and the black people, black/San people, both had around 1,000 people. But the red people were not that expansionist. They would just send out scouts and just stay in their places, not that much, even though they have a bigger land, but I don't know. Then we head again back to the black people, but again another revolt breaks out at the top area since they refused to expand and the war into the Siam. Lime Nation was founded, who even expanded even more into the northern area. And now Lime and Cyan both just allied and related that we both want to end black. So we are not enemies, man. We both want to erase black. Let's just both erase black, and black was absolutely erased. And after a few centuries, this is what the map was looking like. The Lime people got a few area of the Cyan people and a lot of area of the Cyan people. But then the Cyan people were there searching their own villages. That one village was in China, and one was in Mongolia, and one was also in the Cambodian area. They were sending out small villages, like the Britishers colonize a lot of places. This is what they were at right now. Now we'll head over to these people. The Reds also wanted to head there into the Alaska area, but when the scouts saw that the Alaska was a pretty good area to start their own civilization, they completely betrayed the Red civilization and made another civilization, the Purple civilization, which they got a bit of coastline and they just started to expand and got the entire Alaska and a few islands. And when Red Team knew that, whoa, the people aren't just coming back, what the hell is happening? They knew that these people literally just escaped from them and made their own civilization. Now Red people were really angry. They completely became total expansionists. They just started to expand more and more area into that area. So even their borders looked really bad. So just because of that, a new nation came about, and you guessed it, it was Blue Nation. Yep, Blue Nation came around and overthrew the Red Nation since they knew what the hell is happening. The Red Nation literally just went out of hand and they got the entire coastline and just surrounded the Red Nation until the Red Nation completely just surrendered and they got the entire Red Nation. I mean, not the entire Red Nation. The Red Nation was really strong. The loyal people were really strong. So they just got a peace treaty. Again, if they just head into that Canadian area, they will be safe. So the blue people allowed them to go to that Canadian area, but except that, the blue then just colonized the entire red colony and made it theirs. The original red colony was now blue peoples, and blue and purple were now allies, but having this much big territory isn't that good. And since Lime was secretly and not that secretly probably longer. Lime was secretly, but not that secretly, taking science land a lot and does this, and they just completely took over Cyan. Their son, a few people completely took over Cyan, and they even tried to expand in there. They sent, because they had a lot of fighting people, they just sent all the fighters and just completely invaded into Cyan. And they had the entire Indian subcontinent, the Southeast Asia. The Cyan people were not too happy about that. So, guess what? The Cyan people knew that this was coming. They invaded a few cities into the area of Lime and completely tried to invade Lime from the inside. Since a lot of territories came here, and the bigger territories of the Cyan, which was north and east and stuff, they even had another colony on Iran or Afghanistan, which was calling them for that side. Even Sri Lankan rebels came. And the people in Cambodia advanced from this whole area, and they just connected with the top part. So Lime was now completely surrounded, and they completely just surrendered. Okay, well, we don't even care. And then it happened, bro. Finally, Cyan was alone with all that big land with nobody for them to compare with, and the entire Lime colony was absolutely dead. Everybody just surrendered, and now there was no chance for being a rebel. But with power comes consequences. No, with power comes responsibility, and they just they don't even care about that, and they just keep expanding into such a big nation. And you know what happens when there are really big nations? Rebels. Yup, rebels. But this time it was an entirely new nation who wanted to stick around in the Indian subcontinent and not go to that area, since they really like this subcontinent, and it was mainly the only the part of the people who were and they wanted to stay in a place and just didn't want to go like them, like those people, like Cyan people. And now there had been a crazy war against Yellow and Cyan. Both were going back and back at each other, but since they were both so strong, nobody could really find a winner. But the Yellow just got a lot of random land and some really bad borders, which are a village colony inside Science area. And this was how the border was looking. But guess what? The blacks were here again. And the blacks completely got us back. The blacks rebelled against. There were some few loyal black people, not black people. Like, I'm not racist, but like black civilization people who got their southern land back and the Sri Lanka. And as of episode 1, this is what civilization is looking like. The Asia is almost conquered by Cyan, Yellow, and Black. And the North American area isn't that much, with some dark blue, purple, and red. Stay tuned for the next part. Bye! Like and subscribe, comment, comment, please.